Hi there, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Wow, what a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine. Very comfortable, too, at least for today and tomorrow. Almost a carbon copy. We're going to keep the sunshine around and keep temperatures more so in the low 70s for highs. But the heat, it's still expected to crank up here as we head on into the weekend. A slight warm-up, or really not as much of a warm-up, heading into the day on Saturday. And then, yeah, it's Sunday that we really start to feel the heat in. So we are going to talk about those temperatures in our latest forecast on that. And another thing, we do have some fresh advisories that have been issued for the area. So let's go ahead and get into it. You can see farther south first where we are going to zoom in for the Portland metro area, as well as heading farther south closer to Salem. That's where we have the extreme heat watches. That will be in effect from Sunday until Tuesday. And then you have farther north where we have more of the heat advisories. Now, heat is not expected to be quite as extreme for us up this way into western Washington. We're talking about highs generally between about the mid to upper 80s, some mid 90s possible. Those will be more spotty in nature if we see any of those, and probably the better chance of that happening will be on Monday, but it's farther south through parts of Portland and then through the Willamette Valley that you could see some of those temperatures getting up closer to the century mark. So the heat, it is going to be on the way, and we're going to dry things out too a little more as we head on into that time. And wanted to show you this latest drought monitor, which was just released today. Doesn't really show much of a change at all from our conditions last week. We'll see if we see any updates on that here as we head on into the following Thursday or next Thursday on that. We'll also see if that moisture has made its way down into the soil, the rain that we just saw here earlier into the week. But back to today, highs upper 60s, lower 70s, closing in on the mid 70s down that way around Puyallup. So it was a very comfortable day with all the sunshine around. Again, we really warm up heading into Saturday, but it's not the extreme heat or the high heat that we're expecting quite yet. That comes in Sunday and Monday, and we do have a couple of first alert days for those days because of the heat and the dry conditions that are going to be out there too. Upper 80s to lower 90s for most spots. Westport, though, here as we head on into our Thursday evening, looking wonderful. Those skies looking so blue and just a little wave action out there. Our Paulsville camera also looking pretty nice here into Thursday evening. Tacoma, lots of sunny skies out that way as we get ready to end off our Thursday. And then here in Seattle, too, just more of the same. Temperatures have been generally around those lower to mid 70s for most spots. We'll head on into the night and we'll continue to see that our temperatures will drop, though, and we're back into the low 50s in a lot of locations, but I think most spots are actually going to fall down into the 40s, so it will be a chillier start to the day again on Friday. But a big picture, definitely noticing a little, if anything, here across the entire west coast. Have that big ridge of high pressure that is now built across the area, and so that's going to really help us out here as we head on into the night. And we'll have a cloudy sky here or there, but not really much to speak on when it comes to that. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, things looking pretty quiet too. Lots of clear skies, and that sunshine just sticks with us as we head into the afternoon Friday. And then clear skies tomorrow night too. That'll allow things to cool down, but then we do start to notice that wind coming more so from the northeast. And it's going to be at that point that we will have a bit of an offshore push coming back into the picture for us, and that's going to start to crank things up a little bit when it comes to the warmth and the heat, and more of that to come heading on into the day on Sunday. And you can tell right here as we look at our upper air pattern that we are definitely going to see that ridge of high pressure build here across a lot of the western United States. Now, this is Friday, and we're seeing more of that wind coming out of the north. Ridge starts to really build heading on into Saturday and Sunday, and you can see at that point too the orientation of how that ridge is really built. It's coming in from more this direction, or it's more so southeast and north, or southwest and northeast, however you want to see it. But with that, you get more of this sort of flow with that ridge of high pressure in place. So that's why things are expected to be as warm as they're expected to be here as we head on into Sunday and Monday, is because we're going to get that offshore push to really start to crank up. So look at the highs. With that being the case, upper 80s and lower 90s, that coincides with our heat advisories that will be in effect here across western Washington. The cool down starts up on Tuesday, and then we'll keep it going heading into next Wednesday and Thursday, and even all the way into the end of next work week. Back down to the lower 70s, but you can see the average high is at about 70 degrees, so that'll just be dropping us back closer to where we should normally be for this time of the year and for this time of the month. and it should be a lot more comfortable than the 80s and the 90s that we're going to see. Now, before I show you tonight's lows, I want to show you what we saw this morning as far as those overnight temperatures, because I'm going to contrast it for you to what we're expecting for tonight. Yes, tonight we're expecting to see temperatures in the 40s, but we even saw some spots here earlier into this morning that dipped all the way down into the 30s. Some of those spots around Shelton as well as in Olympia. That was this morning. 39 degrees there, 39 also in Olympia, 39 also in Quileute, and a lot of lower to mid 40s out there as well. So definitely dealt with a chill earlier on into the day on Thursday before warming up nicely. And then tonight and into early Friday, you can see those numbers will be slightly warmer, especially in those few spots that did get a bit chillier. Still expecting to see upper 40s to lower 50s around parts of Puget Sound, though. And then we warm up quite nicely as we head on into tomorrow afternoon. Those low to mid 70s will be in place. A few upper 70s possible across parts of Southwest Interior. But the heat not really cranking up until we head into, Saturday, but more so into the day on Sunday and Monday. Still looking like a couple of really hot days for us. We'll cool down afterwards Tuesday, and next Wednesday and Thursday we'll fall back into the 70s, closer to those seasonal averages. So now is the time to really get your mind around the heat that's going to be in place and kind of prepare if you are planning to be outdoors for any prolonged period of time. Of course, want to be careful with any fire as we start to dry out a lot of that vegetation with the heat and the sunshine that's expected to be in place. And another thing too, water's still going to be relatively chilly. So if you're going to be heading out to any of those waters, make sure that you are taking extra precaution and being as safe as possible. Okay, everyone, take care. Have a tremendous Thursday night. We'll talk to you soon.